Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting and it's Fun Fold Friday. It's actually Fun Fold Friday take two. I've just started to record a video, got 8 minutes in. Can I show you what I did? Started the card and I chopped from corner to corner. I was supposed to chop from corner to middle and I'm so cross with myself because I'll have to find something to do with that. So annoyed. And I've got to go over my 8 minutes of ramble all over again. So it's just the joys of making YouTube videos. So today is Fun Fold Friday and I'm making something from scratch. I'm going to make a triple point card or a pointy card. I've seen it called so many different things. I think the idea originally came from Sam Calcott at Mixed Up Crafts. If it didn't, I've just credited her with it, but I think it did. And I haven't prepared anything because I'm not entirely sure how I want this card to come out. So I thought I'm just going to go with it. And some of you have sat with me for the best part of 30 minutes and gone through that, and you've stuck with me to the absolute end, and you've enjoyed what I've done. So I'm hoping you'll do that. So if you like to watch things just as they evolve, you might want to pause now, go and grab yourself a brew, make yourself nice and comfy and watch what goes on. Or you might want to craft with me. So if you're going to craft with me, I've got 4 pieces of 6x6 DSP. Now this is from Aglow in the July-December mini catalogue, and this is the Lights Aglow paper. I've just got 2 styles here. So this is 6x6, 48 sheets of this Speciality Designer Series paper, and we've got some lovely cherry cobbler. I love cherry cobbler. And we've got Evening Evergreen, which is also another one of my favourite colours. Soft Succulent, which is what we've got here. We've got Basic Black, very vanilla, and it's just sprinkled with gold. It's absolutely beautiful. I think this is quite mean and moody, and I really like that. That's quite matte on the back. And then we have this Soft Succulent one, and a matte on the back with Evening Evergreen. But I love the mix. Absolutely adore the mix of colours. I don't quite know how it's going to come out yet. I've absolutely no idea. But all I know is that I've only got 2 sheets of each of this. So let's get on. Let's see how we get on with this. It's the front of the card. I've not yet decided how I'm going to design it. So I need to start with a piece of Basic Black, which I haven't even got out. It's in my box. So this is A4, and I want to trim this down on the short side to 5 3/4. 5 3/4, is that? Yeah. And then I'm going to trim the long side down to 11.5. So the short side to 5 3/4, the long side to 11.5. And I just need to put my scoring blade back in my trimmer, which had come out. That's better. On that long side, to make this card base, we're going to score at 5 3/4. So this finished card will be 5 3/4 square. If you were using A4 cards, not A4, I'm sorry. If you were using 12 by 12 cardstock, then just slice it in the middle, and then with one of those pieces, just score in the middle at 6 inches, and then you can have a 6x6 card base. So it doesn't really matter what the size of your card base is. All of the steps are exactly the same. So there's our card base. 11.5 by 5 3/4, and then scored on the long side at 5 3/4. So I'm going to try not to go wrong this time. I couldn't believe it when I did that. So this is 5 3/4 wide. Half of 5 3/4 is 2 7/8, and you're going to make a mark at 2 7/8. If you were using 6 by 6 or 6 by 12, then you're going to make a mark at 3 inches. If you're doing 4 by 4, you're going to, 4 by 8, then you're going to make a mark at 2 inches. You know, whatever the width of your card, you are going to make a mark halfway. Now, you can either draw a line from the middle to the score line, from the middle to the score line, and then cut up those if you wanted to. Or you can do it this way and do it correctly, unlike the way I did it. So if I've got I'm going to try and bring the camera up a bit more. Just move some of this stuff off my desk so you can see what's going on. There's my score line. There's my pencil mark. I don't know if you can see that there. And we want both of those in this track. So once they're both in there, you want to put your, I don't know why my scoring blade keeps coming out, get up there. You're going to put your cutting blade in the middle. Well, not right in the middle, but somewhere in here. So score line, halfway mark, close that, and then cut from there down to there. Keep that, and then you're going to do exactly the same. So halfway mark, score line, and as you move one, then the other one moves, so take your time to get it in the right place. Bring the cutting blade up to where the card is, drop down the guard, and then cut that way and keep that bit. Don't have your trimmer too far away, you're going to be doing some more with that. So there's the kind of basis of our card. So we can fold here and burnish. I knew where my bone folder was. I've been crafting all afternoon and things just start to get scattered after a while. Oh, it has. It's walked off and I haven't put it away. Never mind. So that's what we're starting off with. So it's a bit plain and it's not very Christmassy with it being black. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to put this in the middle, because when this closes, what's going to happen is that we're going to have, I need to remember which way round it goes. Yeah, we're going to put that there. We're going to put that there to form a point. So we want to see as much of this background as possible. Okay, so we need these bits, but we're going to decorate these with the black. Okay, but then we'll lighten up the card again with a bit more of that at the front. So don't think, oh gosh, that's getting a bit dark. No, I think I know what I'm doing. So we're going to decorate these. Let's just do the inside of this first. I want to trim this down so that it fits into the inside of my card, but with a very small border. And because I don't know what's in here, I'm either going to put a sentiment piece of card in here, either in very vanilla or in white. We'll see what matches best. So because this is 5 3/4 inches square, I'm going to trim this down to 5 1/2 on one side and 5 1/2 on the other, like that. And then we get a nice, not too small border all the way around. I like that. Now I'm not going to glue that down yet. Then you are going to take a piece of the black and we are going to trim that down to 5 1/2 on each side again. 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. This is going to be a real fancy schmancy Christmas card. I don't think you would make a whole pile of these, or you might want to, It would be a lovely afternoon's job, a day possibly, depending how many Christmas cards you send. But if you were sending special Christmas cards to, you know, parents or your children or you know, special friends, then this is something that you might want to make some effort doing. So what we're going to do with this is that this is 5.5 inches square, and I'm going to do this on this side because I've chosen black. You can't see pencil marks that well. So half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. I bet you didn't know you were going to get a maths lesson here as well. And I'm going to make a mark there at 2 3/4. That's not a very big mark. That's why I'm doing it on the back, because it won't be seen. Okay, so I've marked at 2 3/4. And what we're going to do, I'm doing this on the back. We are going to cut from top right to the middle, and from top left to the middle. So that's where your cut marks are going to be. I'm quite happy to do them in the trimmer. You could do them in the trimmer. You could use scissors. You could use a guillotine if you've got one. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to line those 2 marks up. Bring up my blade, drop it down, and then we've got that. Same again, middle mark to that corner mark. Take your time to line them up, bring up the blade, drop down the guard. So what we have now is something to decorate that middle corner with. And because we were cutting a piece of paper that was 5.5, not 5 3/4, it means that we've got a nice border all the way around. Now, if you were going really fancy schmancy, then you could put a gold layer behind that if you wanted to. So if you had some gold foil card, which I don't, then you could have then trimmed that down to 5.5 and did that process that I've just done there and stick that down and then cut this down to 5 1/4 and stick that on top. So you can go multi-layered. So we've got that bit on there. We'll do all the gluing in a moment. Here are my triangles that we had earlier. So they came off, oh, sorry, fingers and thumbs. They came off of here like that. And what we're going to do, they just get, got to get this right. They just get turned round. Oh, I keep forgetting how they go. It's the point that goes at the top. Like that. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so the point goes at the top and then these come down to the side like that. So I want that one. So get them right first before you stick anything on there. It's that whole measure twice, cut once. So if you get these round the wrong way, you're going to struggle to get it to fit, or you could have one the wrong way, one the right way, and it just won't work. So we're going to have that. So remember I said you're watching this evolve as it happens. So that's going to go on there like that. And then these two are going to go on there like that. So let's keep these out. These are the two that I cut from the paper. And we're going to have that one on there like that. And that one on there like that. So we're going to glue them. And while I'm gluing, I'm going to tell you about a few things that are happening at the moment. Now, you don't need to use liquid glue. You can use tear and tape. You can use the dispenser glue. You can use the glue of your choice. Here's what I made yesterday for 3D Thursday. If you haven't seen this, just go back to yesterday's video and you'll see how I made this. And I'm going, this is all now nice and handy now. I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to stick everything down. So the middle bit in, the top and the sides. While I tell you about what's happening. So we're in a new month. We're in September, which is really weird because I'm filming this in August, albeit at the end of August. I've got some quiet time in my house and I'm making the most of getting some filming up to date, because on Tuesday I go back to work, and I've had best part of 6 weeks off, and I am ready to go back to work. I really am. And I'm just trying to get some crafting done ahead of time, because I really want to be doing some different things in September with Stampin' Up. So I'm going to start going all Christmassy. I don't really get excited about Christmas in August, not in September to be honest, but I do want to start some Christmas crafting, and I think I'm going to make a selection of Christmas cards. I think we need to revive the Christmas card. I know things are getting expensive, and we've got this cost of living crisis in the UK. It's probably the same in other parts of the world as well, and it's all a little bit depressing. And I just really want to try my best to revive the Christmas card. It costs such a lot of money to send Christmas cards, but I think if we can just get them made, send them second class so it doesn't cost as much, and send them to people that, you know, we might not see from year to year, or even like might only see people once a year, and how nice it would be to send them a really special Christmas card. And you know, with this we've got a stack of black cards, a stack of DSP in all sorts of different colours, and we can, over the space of the next few months, and have ready for December, when December the 1st arrives, a nice stash of Christmas cards to send to people who, you know, I think about the lady that lives opposite me, and she lost her husband last year, and you know, I really want to make a special Christmas card for her. So it's things like that. If you know someone that needs cheering up at Christmas, that's what this is about. The other thing that we've got coming, and I don't know when this is, and as soon as I know I will. If you watch me and you are in Ireland, the Republic of Ireland that is, or Belgium, and you've been waiting for Stampin' Up to come to your country, well, that is on its way. And I'd be absolutely more than happy to send to you a catalogue when they appear. I can PDF it over to you. Same if you're in Ireland or Belgium, and for you to, you know, start getting involved with Stampin' Up. So I can either be your demonstrator, or you can come and join my team if you want to, and enjoy all the lovely discount that we have as being members, or, you know, yeah, joining Stampin' Up. So that's what I wanted just to tell you about. That's what we're aiming to do. Oh, I'm really pleased with that already, and I just want to get something. I want to get this on a square or a circle right in the middle. That's what I'm aiming to do. So let's see how we go. Right. So I think what I'll do is I'll glue this one on first. So we don't want to put glue anywhere beyond this point here. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to eyeball it. And I'm going to put some glue just on this part of the card. Like that. And just going to get it here where I want it to be. And then it's a bit tricky because you end up with a bit of glue on the card if you're not careful. This glue does dry clear though, and got some glue up there. So we want the point at the edge, and we want that point and that point there. Didn't get any glue on there, thank goodness. There's that first one on. And we're going to do the same here. So this one needs perhaps a little bit more glue because we're having to get glue here, here and here. So again, just eyeballing that. And cool, got that down just about first time. So we've got some really interesting things going on here. We've got the points, which I absolutely love, with the gold. Oh God, I'm in love with that already. I'm absolutely in love with that already. I love it. But we need to get it finished off. Now, what I'm concerned with at the moment is that whatever I put inside, I don't really want it to come out here. So anything that's going to be a sentiment, I do want to limit the size of it. So I'm going to have to work that out in a moment. So what I want to do next is then decide on the size. I think I'm going to do a square. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is maybe a square and a diamond. I don't know. I've been really seriously thinking about how I'm going to do this. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get a 3-inch square. Let's see how that goes. Let's try and use some of that card that I wasted earlier. And I might actually see if I've got any gold foil. So probably what I'll do is pause my recording because you don't want to listen to me scrabbling about in my craft stash looking for it. Yes, look, 3 inches by 3 inches absolutely works. That's, I think, just about the right size. So I'm going to see if I've got some gold foil. So back in a sec. Now I have found some gold foil. I can't quite believe I found some gold foil. And it's just little scrappy bits. So I'm going to see what I can get out of this. It's going to be a bit of a challenge to try and get a 3-inch bit out of this. But what I'm going to do, rather than you watch me trying to do this, again, I'll come back. Right, I did manage to find 3 1/4 inches. Did manage to get that amount off. So what I'm going to do is, this is what I'm aiming to do, because I just think it needs the points. I don't think it will work with a square. I think the whole thing would just deflate. It needs the pointiness. So I want to put that there like that. I'm going to put that on top. And I think I need then a layer of that. I think I do. So we'll try that. It needs something else. I can't just go and stick a sentiment on there. I just think it'll be rubbish. So I'm just going to see if we can have a layer of this. So the gold is 3 1/4 square. The black is 3 inches square. And this will be 2 3/4 square. And then I think it would be easier to put a sentiment on here. There we go. And you have to be so careful that you don't just end up going too far and losing the whole point of the card and it just becoming just way too fussy. That's where I want to put it. I want the point of this square at the top there. And then I don't want any more layering on that. I then have to decide, right, how am I going to put my Merry Christmas on there? So I'm going to start first just by building this. How are we doing for time? 23 minutes actually isn't bad for what we've got so far. So yesterday's video was a bit of a long one and today's will be as well. And then I've got another one coming out on Sunday. And if I can get super organised, and I know exactly what I'm going to make for that, if I get super organised, I could try and get that done this afternoon as well. And then I will feel like I've accomplished something. And then tomorrow, something really exciting is happening in that I am looking after my brand new grandson for the night. He's only 8 weeks old and he's coming over for the night. I've been waiting for this day ever since, well, before he was born. Coming over to Nana's house to stay for the night. And I know overnight I'm going to get text after text from my daughter. Is he okay? Send me a picture. So we're going to pop that on there like that, but I'm not going to put that on there just yet. I'm certainly not going to glue it down. I need to make sure that all of these dots and things or points are all in the right place. And I think I'm going to stick it down with mini stamping dimensionals. or ordinary dimensionals, but I'm just going to leave that there for a moment because I'm just looking for some inspiration. Does it need a circle in it? Do you think all of that square and pointiness needs shaping up with a circle? I've got the decorative circle punch here and I'm going to punch this in white. White might just be a step too far. I might have to go very vanilla. Yeah, white's not going to work. It's just not going to work. It's too much. So let's find some very vanilla, which I was only using earlier. Still not sure. I don't know. I absolutely don't know. So what I'm going to do is find my sentiments and then let's see what we've got. I'm not sure. Still not sure. So I found my sentiments and it is joyful wishes. And I think that fits beautifully in there. So yeah, we're going to go with that. We're absolutely going to go with that circle. I might do something with it in a moment because it's a bit too plain. So let's find a block that I can stamp this with. Oh, I'll put my block away. So just an ordinary D block. And I'm going to stamp this in Evening Evergreen. I think that is simply beautiful. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'll put something on it in a moment. So what I need to do, this is the tricky bit, I think I'm going to put some dimensionals just kind of in this inner section of that and then kind of hover it and stick it down in the right place. It's this little point here that I need to make sure is in the centre. And when you're using Stampin' dimensionals, once they're down, they're down. If you try and pick them up, you're going to ruin the whole thing. Oh, let me go to my caddy. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to go to my adhesive caddy. I'm going to put that away and I'm going to get out my dimensionals. Oh, there's my bone folder that I couldn't find. I put it away. So just on the central part of this. I have got some normal size dimensionals somewhere, but I don't know what I've done with them. Now, I've not taken those off yet. I think they're fine there. So if you're still with me, thank you. If you're crafting with me, I'd love to see what you've made. And as I've said in my last few videos, we do have a sharing group. It's a lovely group. It's 500 people in there and we just share what we've made. And it's a really lovely, supportive group of people that share what they've been making. And you can get absolutely bags of inspiration from there. So I'll leave a link to that in the description bar as well. Right, so this is what I'm doing. I'm hovering. And what I'm doing to make sure that I'm in the middle, I'm kind of eyeballing this point and this point. And then once I'm happy where that is, I want the top point to be as close to the top as possible without going over that. And then once I am happy where that is, and it all looks central, I'm just going to push that down with my finger and there we go. And I'm going to put this in here and again use dimensionals. Now I don't know what it's like in any other part of the world, but I do know that in the UK, if you're selling anything as thick as that, it needs to be sent as a large letter because of its thickness. I'm just going to put some dimensionals on here, and this needs a bit of sparkle, which we'll put on in a second. So I'm going to make sure that that is level and kind of central. Pop that down, and then here, just to finish, oh, I haven't done the centre yet, have I? I will do that. I had some gilded gems, but actually I'm going to use these champagne ones because I think, where are my gilded gems? Here they are. I'm going to go gilded gems. And it will just finish this off, but I will do the centre in a second. Put one there. Put one there like that. And then let's just do the centre. So I will choose Berry Vanilla for that as well. So I need to find a piece that's the right size. Did have some scrap of it. No, I haven't. I've used a lot of Berry Vanilla these last couple of days. I like it in that it is a lot softer than basic white. So my piece of card in the middle for the sentiment, I don't want to be any wider than 3.5. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 3.5 square. Let's see what that looks like. And we'll bung a sentiment in the middle of it. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 4. And then if I have to trim it down, I will do. Because I just don't want that to be seen from the outside at all. But we don't want anything too small that you can't write in it. I think that's ample size. Is it seen? Oh, it is. Let's push it up a bit. It's not central then, which will then bug me. No, I'm going to lose a bit of it. What did I do? 4. Let's do 3 3/4. Also, as well, if you're going to leave a comment, I'd love to know if you've tried any of my projects. Really would be interested to know and see what you've made. Oh, I can still see that. It's just a teeny tiny bit, and I'm just going to push it up. And there we are. So we'll put that there. Now it does need a sentiment in the middle. So I've got, also from Joyful Flurry, is this Happy Christmas. Super simple. In fact, I'm changing my mind. I'm sorry. I'm going from Christmas Scotty. I'm going to use this Merry Christmas sentiment. Just because I prefer it. It's not that I dislike the sentiment Happy Christmas, but I just like what this one looks like. So Evening Evergreen again. Hopefully this is central and level. Yes, it's nice to get that first time. And just one extra thing, just because we've got soft succulent in this card. And remember, this is a special card, isn't it? We're going all out on this. This is somebody special that will get this card. From Joyful Flurry, we've got this little snowflake here. And I'm just going to put that on my block. Gosh, I've got some clearing up to do. I've no idea what the time is. I've still got one more video to do today. Okay. Right, so there's my snowflake. I'm going to very very lightly dab that in soft succulent. And I'm just going to stick a snowflake there. That's all I'm going to do with that. And we're going to stick it into our card, and it'll be the last thing we do for this card. So I'm just going to see where that's going to sit on there. I can bring it down a bit more. I want it as central as I could possibly get it. Oh my goodness, I'm so pleased with this card. So pleased how this has turned out. Thank you for sticking with me while my thought processes worked. Let's put that on there like that. I'm just going to see if I can... There we go. I'm not going to push my luck anymore. There we go. And with my bone folder, I'm just going to disperse that glue underneath. And there we have it. A pointy Christmas card. Use a triple point card, whatever you want to call it. And I think I've just broken down those angles with a little wibbly wobbly decorative circle. There is a blog post that goes with this. It will have all of the measurements on there. It would also have all of the product details on there. All of the products that I'm showing you here are current as at the day that you're watching, the day that this video was published. And I'd love to see if you make it. It was really, really good fun to make. So thank you ever so much if you've stuck with me to the end, and I look forward to seeing you. I'll be back on Sunday, and I'm going to be using, I think, the Bottled Happiness suite. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.